Hey everyone, it's Melissa here. It is day 4 of the Live Your Purpose Challenge, and today's theme is Find Your Niche. This is such an important topic. It is probably my favorite topic of everything that we're covering in this 5-day challenge, because I know that it can have so much impact and could be really transformational for you guys, those aha moments. Yeah. So I am using a different streaming software today. So I do want to just double check that the tech is working before I dive in. I don't see anyone on here live yet. So I may check my phone just to see if it's working. But in the meantime, while people are hopping on, let me do a few announcements. Okay, I do see somebody here. So if you would let me know in the comments that you can hear me and see me okay, and that everything is streaming correctly, because I am using a different software. Yay, Julie is here. Okay, awesome. So I'm going to assume and cross fingers that everything is working. Yeah, okay. So few announcements. We do have a replay page set up. So if you are registered for the challenge, for the free challenge, you get access to the replay page until next Friday, June 20th. Okay, so totally understand if you haven't been able to keep up every single day, but you can go back and see what you missed. Can you hear me okay, Julie? Because you keep saying you missed something. So let me know. Please. So I'm going to put the link of the, I have it here, yep, of the replay page in the chat. And there it is. If you're not registered for the challenge, make sure you do that. The link should be in the description as well. We have a contest going on in our private Facebook group for the Live Your Purpose Challenge. So you want to make sure that you're in that Facebook group as well. Okay, yeah, I didn't say anything important in the first few seconds. I was just rambling. Still trying to, I'm using a different tech, so I'm just sorting that out. So if you make a post or a comment in the Facebook group, then you get to be entered into the drawing for a VIP ticket. So the VIP has been going on every day this week as well, but we meet on Zoom at 2 p.m. Eastern time, and it has been really powerful. Each person in the small group together on Zoom gets to share and get some healing and mentoring work, and there's been a lot of insights and aha moments, etc. So what I'm going to do is use a random number generator to see who today's winner is. So here we go. Okay, so today's winner is Liz Brecknock. So I will email you, Liz, if I can find your email address, but please do go ahead and contact me as well. You can email me at support@communicatewithangels.com. And we'll get you that VIP ticket so you can join us on the more personal mentoring calls. Okay, so like I had said, today's topic is find your niche, or I know some people call it niche. So there is a difference between purpose and niche. When people say they are looking for their purpose, they often are actually looking for their niche. So what is the difference, right? So let me explain niche a little bit. It's like the place where you fit. You naturally feel a sense of alignment and flow when you're involved in your niche in life. You will feel fulfillment and growth. It's the feeling of, I can't wait to get out of bed in the morning because I enjoy what I'm doing so much. It's really thriving and enjoying what you're involved in. Hi, Rebecca, welcome. So I think for many of you, that's actually what you're seeking, right? Is that feeling of, okay, this lights me up. I'm excited about what I'm involved in. That actually comes from finding your niche. Purpose, like we talked about a couple of days ago, the definition of purpose is really that underlying why, the mission. So as we're going through this challenge, you can start to see that there are many different aspects to understanding yourself and what you're here to do. It's not just finding this magical purpose and everything suddenly falls into place. And again, that's why I created Authentic and Aligned, because I had been through these different trainings and consultations myself, but I had done it piecemeal, a little bit here, a little bit there, over about a span of 5 or 10 years. And I started to see how it could all be brought together so that you have the bigger picture. It's like all the pieces of the puzzle that you've been seeking to really feel an alignment and flow, knowing that you have that deeper meaning and that you're fulfilling what you came to do. Each of us innately on a soul level knows that we're here for a reason, right? There's something we're here to accomplish, to grow, to learn. But because we sort of get out of touch with our own inner guidance, we can sometimes get off track. It's like being overly influenced by the rules and regulations of society, the expectations of family, the things that are placed on us, and we don't even realize that's happening, right? It seems like you. And we all are programmed to a certain extent by the outer. And some of that is needed, right? I need to learn to be polite and respectful to people. I need to follow boundaries. So some of that is important. But a lot of it is holding you back. And so you want to awaken your knowledge of yourself on a soul level. Okay? I'm going to share a video in a little while from my client Courtney, where she beautifully articulated this journey that she went on and experienced of knowing herself on a soul level. Okay? So today, what is your niche? So there is what I call the niche formula, and that is profession plus avocation equals niche. So that sounds strange. So what does that mean? Another way of saying it could be spiritual plus material equals niche. Okay, so I'm going to read out a couple of definitions of what I mean by profession and avocation. These could well be different than what you would see if you looked it up in the dictionary. Okay, we're talking about more spiritual definitions here. So, profession is the business of you. It's what you've come to do. A job that requires special education, training, or skill. A vocation or business, the faith or belief. What you take with you, your unique growth and evolution. Okay, so that's the spiritual. And then we have avocation or material. An occupation, task, or work. A paid position or opportunity for exchange. A role or participation in the game of society. It is a means to an end, the way or how a service is provided. Okay. So more important than understanding every word of that definition is just starting to get the concept of you have your spiritual and the material, and what part is emphasized in our lives, usually in our society. The material. And so for many of you only have half of the equation. And it's important, but it's only 50% of the equation. We're missing that spiritual understanding, the knowledge of who I am on that inner soul level, right? Yesterday, we talked about your unique vibration, or you could call it your spiritual thrust. That is a piece of what we're talking about here. That's the first step, the first private session that you get in Authentic and Aligned is learning the words of your unique spiritual thrust. So you can encapsulate and understand and see and feel and know what your uniqueness is all about. And there's other aspects as well that you're going to learn about yourself, right? There's several private sessions where you get understanding on this piece, on this piece, on this piece. Related to niche, it's not something we're going to really talk about today, but in the private session you get on your niche and Authentic and Aligned, you understand kind of aspects of your personality and how you best work with people and how you best work with opportunities. And the combination of those two gives you a really good understanding of the kind of places, the kind of opportunities that you need to be involved in so that you're fully expressing your strengths. Okay, so there's, can't remember exactly off the top of my head, but like I think at least 6 different areas where you start to understand yourself. And when you put all of those spiritual pieces of the puzzle together, then you have this unique, full understanding of yourself and what you're here to do. Okay, this is work that just hasn't been available to you before, right? This is the missing piece for most of you. Once you get that piece in place, the spiritual, then it's time to move back to the material. Most of you right now are looking out there for the material going, okay, what is it? What job am I supposed to be doing? What's going to make me happy? Right? Trying to find a partner that works with my lifestyle or is compatible with me. It's like out there, out there, out there. You're never going to quite land on it until you have this understanding of yourself on a soul level. So let me know, guys, if this is making sense and resonating. Just share hi in the comments. I forgot to say that. Please introduce yourself and say hi in the comments if you haven't already. Just looking at my notes to see if I missed sharing something because I was definitely riffing there. But I put here that happiness comes from the inner. It does not come from the outer. Nothing outside of me can make me happy, right? It comes from the inner. Yeah, I'm glad it's resonating, Rebecca. Okay, so here was the exercises for today, for day 4. So number 1 was, do you feel you have more ups than downs or downs than ups? Okay, so in your life in general, do you have more ups than downs or downs than ups? Hi, Lois, good to see you here. If you have more ups than downs, you are closer to your niche in life. If you have more downs than ups, you need to move to the right or left, up or down until you find your niche. Okay, so you can generally just start to see, and that's why in day 1 we talked about what areas of your life are feeling really good, like maybe 80% or more of the time, and what areas of your life are maybe really getting your attention, like maybe 50% of the time you're feeling off. Okay, so it could just be certain areas of your life where you need to evaluate this, or it could just be in general, right? I'm kind of feeling more downs than ups right now. And, a whole separate conversation is that there's a lot of pressure in the environment. To be honest with you, a lot of anxiety and trauma that's sort of unresolved from COVID. But that's a whole nother conversation as well. But we're going through a collective kind of healing period right now. And so that's a part of it. But it's more important for you to understand yourself on that inner level, right? For yourself as your own person. Okay, so if anyone wants to share their answer to those questions, please do. Okay, so the next question is, do you need to work more on your profession or avocation to find your niche? So in other words, do you need to have more understanding of your spiritual or the material? Okay. So I'd love to know which one it is for you. If you already have a really good understanding of your spiritual purpose and the energy that you came to work with, then maybe it is, okay, now I need to look at the material and have that match, right? So again, I may not have explained the niche formula completely here. So it's really about knowing what you're here to do on that spiritual level. So expressing your thrust, your gifts, your uniqueness, your strengths, and then finding an opportunity or relationship or a role in the material world that allows you to express your spiritual gifts and strengths more. And sometimes it's a tweak, right? So I shared the story already, but I'll share it again. There was a time about 4 or 5 years ago where I was focusing more on doing digital courses that didn't require my presence. Like people were just, it's like reading a book, right? Or just going through a course online. You're watching videos, you're doing the exercises, but you're not talking to me in real time. And it was great. I'm so grateful that I created those programs. However, if I only did that, it was just really feeling disconnected because I wasn't actually talking to people. And I was starting to feel really disconnected, right? So I realized what I learned about myself is that I thrive in connection with people and sharing and mentoring. So I didn't have to throw everything away, right? The courses are great. And I actually just did some work to upgrade them recently. So I'll be launching that soon. But I couldn't just do that. I needed to just tweak how I was working with it. And so I started to do more programs like Authentic and Aligned, for example, where we're actually connecting on live calls once a week. And so then I got back into alignment. So it could be that for you. I remember one of my clients, Rizal, he realized that in his job, he loves technology. And so he loved his job in that aspect. But another part of his purpose is that he's here to really work with people and be of service to people. And the job he was doing was tech without people. And there was something missing, right? So you need to find that opportunity that aligns. Yeah. Hope that makes more sense. Okay. So Rebecca had said, I need understanding on the spiritual purpose, but mostly the material. So you may find, though, that because the material is what gets our attention, but we actually don't realize that why we're feeling dissatisfied with the material stuff is because we need to look within. So just something to consider. Oops, I didn't know I did that, but there you go, Lois. I do not know. I take the day as it comes and just move through it. Okay. So there could be a need for more regrouping there. Oh, and she said something else here. The thought comes to me that I'm not connected with my feelings. Yeah. And so that could be the first place to look. And that's really common. I was raised by parents that were pretty disconnected from their feelings. I love them to death. And I had to heal and learn how to connect with my feelings, because I remember when I first started being involved in workshops and things, when people asked me to share what I felt, I was like, what? What's a feeling? So it's really worth doing that work, because you start to know, have that self-understanding and awareness. And that can only really come from being aware of your feelings. Your intellect will trick you if you're not connected with your feelings. All right. So, and then the next question is, what action or inner shift will you make? So maybe you don't know yet. I may be jumping the gun a bit with that question, but is there anything that comes to you as far as how can you make a shift right now? For some of you, it's just going to be noticing what's feeling off, right? And not seeing that as you've done something wrong or made a mistake or beating yourself up for it. Just having that be awareness. okay, something isn't quite feeling right, or it's not quite flowing here, right? I even noticed with one of my programs, people just weren't signing up for it like they did a few years back. And even some of the people that signed up weren't scheduling the private session that comes with the program. And I was flabbergasted by that, because this is a $200 session and they just even weren't even scheduling it, even with multiple reminders, right? I would email them every week to remind them. So I got frustrated, but I thought, okay, I can't deny that something has shifted here. What do I need to tweak? What do I need to shift? And so I used that feedback that I was getting from my audience to actually totally re-record the 2 programs. And so I'm excited. Because I'm working on this challenge right now, the project's a little bit on hold, but at least I've recorded all the videos, which is exciting. And I'll be working on it in the next month or 2 to really release it to all of you guys. But it's like, rather than seeing that as a problem, okay, what's the solution? So again, I'm just using that as an example. I don't really want to talk all about myself, but hopefully, you can just see these as examples for how you can apply that. So if anything is coming to you there, let me know. Or maybe you're just in that point of noticing and having more awareness. So let me know in the comments what's going on for you there. All right. So if this is resonating with you and you're really ready to find your niche in life, right? Where is that place where you fit? Do you need some guidance on this? I have a few spots left. 2 of them got taken yesterday, but I have a few spots left for a free Find Your Niche session. So we can hop on a call together on Zoom for about 15 minutes. You share with me what's going on. What are the things that you're feeling need to shift or just getting your attention, right? For many of you, it could well be career stuff, but it could be something different too. And, where is that feeling of dissatisfaction? What are you experiencing? I think even just sharing that with somebody can be healing, right? And I'll just give you a little bit of guidance to point you in the right direction. And then we will talk about the Authentic and Aligned program and see if that could be a good fit for you at this time. So if you're interested in applying for one of the spots for the free Find Your Niche sessions, I'm going to put that link in the comments. And I will just show it just for fun because I can, because I decided to upgrade to streaming software today. It's a very strange link, obviously, so you just probably want to click it or check the emails. If you're signed up for the challenge, you will be able to access it from the emails as well. So I did want to share with you a story from one of my past clients, Courtney, who went through Authentic and Aligned. I don't want to take up a whole lot of time, watching a video. So basically, before the section I'm about to play for you guys, I had, she had shared a little bit about what was going on for her previous to signing up for Authentic and Aligned, which is like she was feeling like she was in Groundhog's Day, doing the same thing over and over and not really feeling very fulfilled by it. And so I asked her, okay, what did you learn in Authentic and Aligned? What transformation did you experience? And then that is the point where she, where she starts sharing from what I'm going to show you guys. So here it is. Sorry about that it's not on full screen, but it wouldn't let me. So here we go. I'm going to see if I can do that now. Okay, cool. All right, here she is.
Oh, it was with gentleness and ease, thank goodness. But what I learned about myself is I had a deeper acceptance of how I operate as a soul, not just as a person, but as a soul. And with each class, And with each topic and with each layer, there was just another layer that was unfolded that revealed a concept or even a blinder that I didn't realize that was there, that was influencing how I was perceiving life and how I was perceiving my actions to my outcomes. I didn't realize that I was spinning the way I was because I was putting into my outcome in a way that didn't work for how my soul was programmed.
Yeah. So was that because of, influence from upbringing or society? What would you say?
I would say both.
Yeah.
Yeah. Especially near the end where I realized in one of our sessions that one of the reasons I had a hard time manifesting. So for all of you, that's something we work through in the course.
Okay, so I'm going to stop it there. She starts sharing about some pretty deep and personal things there, which is really beautiful that she did that. But I just wanted to play that little snippet because it's like understanding yourself on a soul level. And so as you can watch the full video on the Authentic and Aligned page, but as it goes through, she starts sharing about, because she had that understanding of herself on a soul level, she was on a job hunt at that time. And she was wasting time. Like, she went to a job interview and she goes, oh, this isn't for me. Right. So then once she'd been through the soul understanding and Authentic and Aligned, she could look at an opportunity and know, okay, this is an alignment for me or it's not. Right. And kind of hone in. Instead of going, what on earth should I do? It was streamlined. And the right opportunity will come to you and manifest, as she said, the word manifest. It will manifest more easily when you have clarity, not going, oh my gosh, what on earth am I supposed to do? Because that puts you in that feeling of doubt and worry and confusion, right? And there was that particular group. I've done this program 4 times now, I think 4 or 5. And that group that Courtney was in, there was 3 women who were in that same place. They were searching for a job. They didn't know what jobs to apply for. And they got that clarity. They were able to move out and move into new opportunities that were really in alignment. So Authentic and Aligned is open for enrollment until June 27th. You have a couple weeks to check it out, apply for one of those Find Your Niche sessions. That's not a hard sell, by the way. I really just love to connect with you before you enroll, because I think that is important. First of all, you want to know me and do I resonate with you? Do you think I could help that? And and just for you to be able to have that place to answer your questions and feel like you know what you're getting involved in, right? That's really important. So do go ahead and apply for one of those 15-minute sessions if you feel like this could be something that you would resonate with. It doesn't have to be that you've already decided you're going to enroll. You could just be curious, right? And I would love to connect with you. I think, and I was also going to show you guys the page now that I have this lovely screen sharing. So this is the information page for Authentic and Aligned. Really, this is the promise of that program, is to find your deeper soul's calling so you can step into work and relationships that align with your unique path in life. Okay. It's an intimate group experience. I love that. You get tools. These are proven tools that give you understanding. If anybody here has done some of that, please share in the comments, right? If you know your policy, if you know your thrust, it becomes a part of you. I notice that people who've been through Authentic and Aligned, that just becomes a natural part of how they share about themselves, which is really amazing. So we do meet for 12 weeks together in a group, and I give you intuitive mentoring. Some of my other programs that I do are more, how do I differentiate? Let's put it another way. Authentic and Aligned, I find, is a mentoring kind of experience. And that is how the energy has unfolded. So you do get intuitive mentoring from me quite regularly in the group, only when it's needed, right? I'm not going to make you feel uncomfortable, but I'm going to work with guidance to ask you the questions that you need to be asked and to help you to find that awareness or the blind spots, right? Remember, Courtney was just sharing each week there was like, she recognized a blind spot or a place where she had been stuck that she didn't even realize, right? So you're going to be able to bring these, what was maybe subconscious fears, out in the open and heal them. We do also work on manifesting. We do about the first 6 weeks is all about your authentic self, and you will be surprised at how much depth there is there. I should add to this page too, I'll do that later on today. We also work with learning about your spiritual contracts, which is really, really huge. You have certain contracts that you're here to fulfill. And that can be a part of if you're feeling dissatisfied with things, maybe there's contracts that you're missing. So we also have 6 one-on-one sessions, and this is where you go deeper, you get the healing, you get the tools of understanding your authentic soul self. And so these 6 sessions alone would be $1,200, but the whole program is only slightly more than that. It's really, I could charge a lot more, but this is the pricing that feels really good to me right now, so that it's an investment for sure, but the depth of what you receive, it's really quite a reasonable investment. So the full price is $1,597, but if you do the full pay, you save $100. And I've also decided, I've never done this before, but I've also decided to give you these payment plan options to help it make it easier for you to say yes if that is an alignment. And you get a bonus of my Communicate with Angels online course. There is a prerequisite for joining Authentic and Aligned, which is a session which is called the Gifts and Guidance Orientation Profile. But that is included in this course. So you automatically have the prerequisite, and we'll start with that orientation profile session if you haven't done it before. So let me know if you have questions about Authentic and Aligned. Hopefully all that screen sharing was working. I assume so. It's like figuring it out as I go along. And again, the thing to do, your next step will be to apply for one of those remaining free Find Your Niche sessions. So this finding your niche, that profession plus avocation, is one of those things that for some people doesn't click right away. It really is a different way of looking at things. So you may want to watch the recording of this again, or maybe even a couple more times to really start to get this. It's so powerful when you start to see how this works, right? That you have a spiritual purpose to fulfill, and everything in your material life is just a means to an end for you to fulfill that spiritual aspect, your growth, your fulfillment, your purpose, all of that. Okay, so let me know if you guys have any questions or other comments. Otherwise, I'm going to sign off for today. We will be back for our day 5 call at noon Eastern, or I should say live stream at noon Eastern tomorrow, to kind of wrap it all up and see what you've learned and share and connect with each other. And again, I will do one more drawing for the VIP upgrade ticket on tomorrow's call. So the thing to do if you want to be part of the drawing is to do a post or a comment in the Live Your Purpose Challenge Facebook group. Okay, we want to get some more engagement going on in there, connect with each other, share. It's really valuable to share your experiences. For one, others can learn from it, and you're fulfilling some of your contracts. Reaching the people that you came to reach just by sharing your true feelings. And also it helps you to outflow and feel more balanced energetically. Sharing actually allows energy to move through your chakras. Otherwise, you start to become stuck and stagnant. So there's a deeper reason why in this program, I'm part of the Way Showers College, we have you share a lot. Because you have your own answers inside of you too. Sometimes that inner wisdom needs to come out by you just sharing it and realizing, oh, I didn't know that's what I thought, but there you go, I said it. All right, so I'm going to sign off for today. I look forward to connecting with you again tomorrow and hopefully on one of my Find Your Niche sessions. I'll see you soon.